Hello friends, welcome to Nadia's Crafty Corner, where this week it's all about patriotic with some beautiful pieces that we have made. You can find the link in the description, and we are going to decorate, and I'm going to show you what to do with all of them. We're going to start with a green base and we're going to fill it with mesh. We're going to put this most adorable tap hat on it. We are going to also put in some other special elements, and these yarn ornaments are not just for patriotic reasons. These could be used for Christmas as well. And this is another larger, this is a large wreath attachment that I've also made in a different size, a little smaller, to be used as wreath center. And these were born because my mom, who lives overseas, wanted something special too, and not having so many products available, I had to come up with something special for her too. And fabric, it's something she could find. So I made a 6-inch fabric center, and then we made the 10-inch wreath attachment, and they could both be used on the wall, on a wreath, on a garland, however you prefer to decorate with them. We start with 21-inch blue mesh, the natural curl that it has. I'm going to curl it on both sides. Then we are going to get about 5 inches from either end and put it together. You're going to have one poof side, one curl side, and I like to alternate them so that I have the curls and the poofs on both sides. I chose to do a blue section where we're going to put stars, and how large you want the blue section, it's entirely up to you. And then I'm going to fill the rest with red and white mesh as well. So just continue your blue section. I am putting them rather close to each other because I want a full look to my wreath. We're going to start with the white, which is a 10-inch mesh, naturally curls. So you're going to curl it on both sides. Leave about 5 to 7 inches in the center, and there you're going to scrunch it together to form a bow tie that it's going to go right into your base. I don't twist them much because we are putting other elements in there. In this case, I chose to do almost like a feeling of stripes. So I'm going to put white one over the other, and then I'm going to move over a couple of inches and put in the red. And as I said, I'm making this one pretty stuffed because I want the colors to really show through. So one red goes in, and we fold it the same way as the white. And we put the other one right below. And now you can start to see the effect that I'm trying to do. So you can continue to put the red and white mesh all around until you get, of course, back to the blue section. And if you see that there is a spot that needs a little something, you can decide which color to add. In my case, I felt that the blue was more appropriate to give it more of a blue section. I like to pull my wreath in to make it look more like an oval, always making sure that it's round. This is one option that we could do with the large attachment, the fabric round attachment that we have made. But in my case, I'm going with my pretty tap hat because I kind of have a design in mind. My attachment come with long wires in the back. I do not use pipe cleaners as it makes it a little difficult to go through. So once you pull your hat through, your attachment is secured. Make sure that it's very well secured. I know I want a giant bow, so that's what I'm going to make next. And I like to start my bow with a 4-inch ribbon in this case, because I'm not making a traditional bow. I will have a separate video tutorial for this bow, and I could show you how I make the 2 loops bow using different types of ribbon. When I start my loops, I always like to make sure that the first initial base loop is proportionate to my wreath. And I want to leave a longer tail because I'm going to cascade them down. So as you see, I'm using different types of ribbons to make one bow. I like my bow colorful. I also like to use zip ties. That way I know those loops are not going anywhere. Once I zip tie my bow, I also put in my long wire so that it's easy for me to attach it through the mesh, through the pine base, and I can very well secure it to everything. And friends, I would like to invite you to come and watch our lives on Facebook. You can ask so many questions, and I do give lots of information to viewers because everyone's crafting style or needs are different, and I try to make sure that I help everyone. So we always want to make sure we fluff our bow and make our loops go so that all the colors are spread out. And like I said, I will have a separate tutorial for this kind of bow that I like to make, so you can see. All right, so we like to position our bow and keep making sure that the loops go where we want them to go, and making sure that it's not covering the attachment. So this is what I was talking about. I like to take some of the predominant ribbons and make like a little bridge and leave the tails hanging down, because for this particular design, I am leaving tails here and there throughout the wreath. I am not putting flowers. So you decide how long or short you want your tails. Just always making sure that it's not covering your main wreath attachment. This is what I like to do. I like to take, it's about 24 inches, right, of ribbon, and I make a 4-inch loop, fold it in half, make about a 4-inch loop, and then to make sure that my tails are going both the same direction, I lift one tail, twist the other tail, and pull it down. So when it's facing you, you see the right side of both tails. Now, this is a good time to use ribbon that you don't have a lot of. But instead of making a loop, look at what I'm doing with the red one, right? I don't have a lot of it, but I want to use it. I'm just putting an extra tail in there. So I'm making it about 10 inches long, and I'm just going to place it into my wreath. So now I have a little sparkle, and you all know I love my sparkles, and my patriotic ribbon. Now it's time for my pretty ornaments, which also come with a very long sturdy wire, and you can cut it as long or short as you need it for whatever design you're making. I like to place them on the bottom because on the top, I want like a firework effect type of thing. So the wire that I have on my attachment makes it so that I can pull it through the mesh, and it stays, so the attachment stays nice, fluffy, sitting on my mesh rather than going too far in. Okay, I have 3 of them, and I'm going to attach them all the same on the bottom of my wreath. Now, those loops and tails that I did before, we are going to do a few more around the wreath. How many? I can't really tell because it really depends on the attachments and on the shape of your wreath. So you kind of have to make sure that it stays uniform and it goes all around. I made some little curly cues with sparkle beads, and I'm going to place them on top. I did make pretty stars, friends, but they weren't dry yet. So I'm going to add them on later rather than ruin them, right? And on this type of wreath, you can really keep adding more if you want to. Maybe you want to add a little flowers. Maybe you want to add more. I'm adding more tails. You can stop or keep going as much as you like. It's entirely up to you. And so what I'm doing with this ribbon is I finally finished that roll of red sparkly ribbon that was sitting on my shelf for quite some time now. So I didn't have to waste it. I didn't have to store it. We love that. And there you have it, friends. A beautiful patriotic wreath, a few finishing touches and details, and just making sure that my tails are all prettied up. And we have made a matching beautiful swag to this wreath, but I made it on my Pinterest episode, so I am not able to put the replay on YouTube, but please go and check out my Pinterest channel, Nadia's Crafty Corner, and you can see the matching piece that we made. I will attach a photo so you can see it. There you have it, and the beautiful swag and more pieces that we're making. So please subscribe to my channel so you can see all the pretties that we are going to make. Have a good day.